All right, it's this is from Wednesday, November 5th. Um, Still, once again, doing 5 minute pullbacks. Nothing, there wasn't a lot today or that day, if I remember right. These were just from the sim. I think Ruby I had opened from the day before. I'm not even sure because I think Ruby was halting up on Tuesday, and I just took some sim trades on that to practice on those and I just forgot to probably close it out because I had to go to work. But and then Xair, I think this was from the news, so I just took news on Xair, and so this is what that looks like when I put a limit order in. This is actually a stop limit. So I put my stop loss down here, and then I double click where I want to enter at, and it automatically calculates my shares of where I want to enter. And so when I enter, it only does the max loss would be what my risk would be, which is I think at this point either 65 or 70 bucks. So that way I don't have to fool around with figuring out, how many shares am I going to trade, cuz the 200 shares is a lot different on a penny stock versus a $20 stock, if that makes sense. Um, so here it's based on where I want to put my stop and where I want to enter. And if I hot buy, which means I basically buy on the ask at like almost like a market order, it'll automatically calculate that too. So I do love this setup because I don't have to. I can make things consistent between every trade and how much I lose per trade. So so let's see what happens here. So I put the order in. Let me turn this down. And so we're in right there. And I think this is another one of those situations where it goes negative, and then I immediately get out for a very small win or a break. Basically, probably go negative because of the ECN fees. So we had a pop there, and as I'm looking at this, I'm probably thinking, oh man, look at this huge pin bar right here. Why did I even get in this trade for? This is not a good setup. This is trade. This pullback is not a really good pullback, and it's like, I'm immediately probably thinking of ways to get out of this trade once I'm in, and the only thing I can think about is losing max loss. Only thing I can think about is losing $70 and not making money. You know, I do not remember how this ends up, so we may have to like scroll a little bit through the chart, or maybe go back on my charting software to see how this plays out at this point. So we're basically on the 5 minute chart, 15 minutes in, or on the 15 minute candle, and we'll see how this goes. So I go negative here, and I'm like, oh, I just want to go. I just want to get positive. I don't want another red day. I don't want red. This is my first trade for this day with real money. I don't want to start on a wrong foot. So I think I just, here, I'm up 38 bucks. So that's not bad. That's like half an R right there. Um, I should have just let this go probably and see. So as long as the price doesn't come back down to like 205 here or 203, I probably put it a penny below the low of this candle here. Um, we're good, and it basically has to make the same here. So we're probably looking at back at probably 260, 245, somewhere around there to make it a one for one. So to be honest, I don't know where I got out at this here. I did let it go for a while, surprisingly. I think I was trying to be disciplined and let this go, but I think I saw it having a hard time, and I got out for basically a penny profit. So let's see how this ends up. So we're still good here. This is a different chart. I should have looked at this before. So we're still good at 817. I got in around 811 or 810, 15 I think was the 811. Yeah. CHR. So we're still good here. Now we're back to break even right there. Still good. CHR set up for a 5-minute pullback right there. Didn't get in on that one. We're still good here. So right there, that may have reached the 1-for-1 at 255. So we're on the 1 minute here for whatever reason. Sorry. Okay, Xair. Let's see if I can find if it eventually made it. Okay. So if I didn't get out on this push right here, we would have been stopped out down here, because that definitely would have been stopped out. And let's see what this candle was. 253 was the high, and the low. 253 was the high. So if I got in at let's go back. 253 was the high. So I got in at 811. Right around here. $233. So 233 was the entry, and my stop loss was, I think I'll be able to see it here, because it should bring it into here. Should throw it in the price here where my stop loss was. 201, 233. So we're looking at 31 cents. So if it only got to 55, so yeah, this would have not worked out in the end if I waited for a 1-for-1. But that's not the way to look at it. The way to look at it is, when they see the setup, you got to take it. But CHR 5-minute chart, this was a really good setup right here. Much better than this setup, this pullback here, because this is huge pin bar here. A lot of selling, push the price all, more than 50% retracement. Yeah, so that was Wednesday, 6:44. Commissions were $265. So there's that.